Hi, I'm Erin. I write poetry and fantasy fiction.
And hi, I'm Kaylee. I write fantasy and science fiction.
And today we're going to be talking about music and whether that plays a role in our writing processes or the writing that we do. So, Kaylee, our first question is, does music inspire your writing?
I would say yes. Music does inspire my writing. I think my writing is inspired by a lot of, or all of the media I consume. I think affects my writing in some way or another. With music specifically, there are ideas I have for books or scenes that come specifically from songs. Like, Lord Huron has some songs that have inspired, but like I've not written anything based on them, but I have ideas for characters and stuff that I got while listening to those songs that are totally different from the actual meaning of the songs. That's just what it made me think of.
Yeah.
And then in my current project, I have I've listened to a lot of Marcus Warner when writing it, and he has a song that's a cover. The song is called Anne Told Dub, arranged by Marcus Warner, because the original song is from like this band that I'd never heard of until I listened to this, called Run Rig, and his like cinematic instrumental arrangement of it, like when I listened to it the first time, I was like imagining like this like sea of soldiers and like battle stuff, and so it's part of why now one of the main characters in my books ends up going and fighting in this war. Is part of the reason why that's in the plot is in the book. It's because it makes sense for the plot, but also because of that song. So that is how music has inspired some of my writing. Yeah. How about you?
Yeah, I feel like a similar answer. It's like, I don't think I've ever gotten like a story idea just from a song, or and then I don't know that I've necessarily like, sometimes when I listen to songs, like there's a little bit of a music video kind of situation, but not, I don't think I've ever had like characters that were fully inspired by a song, but the characters that I've already thought of for a story, like sometimes listening to certain songs, like whatever the kind of like point of the song is or the image that I kind of get from it, like there have been scenes in the story that came from like listening to a song and then thinking of like those characters kind of in whatever like context that song kind of creates in my head, and I'm like, oh, okay, because so there's like moments or whatever where I'm like, that would actually make a lot of sense for like these characters or this character to like, you know, have a conversation that's kind of about this topic, or like kind of have this be like an undertone of their like whatever their relationship to each other is. Like, I think that's mainly how it is as far as like inspiring parts or pieces of the story.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense. Cool. I like that.
Yeah.
Do you have a playlist or playlists for your book, and how do you use them?
So yeah, I have, for the last two like bigger projects I've done, I've had a playlist for the whole story, and then I've had like these barely playlists for some of the characters. I'm trying to flesh it out a little bit more for the one I'm working on now. But let's see. So the way that I kind of use it, I think we talked about this a different time, but like it's not super helpful to listen to it while I'm writing, but sometimes when I'm just trying to like think about it, or like think about the story, or just like kind of consider like the overall arc, like with this last one, it has actually been like helpful and possible. I feel like it's not always possible to do this, but to put the songs in order of kind of like major scenes and the like songs that go with them, and like put it in order, and that kind of helps me like before I've written the whole thing have something that represents the story.
Oh, that's
to
cool.
kind of like walk through it or whatever. Which that's kind of incomplete because there are like scenes that I'm not, you know, I don't know like every single thing that's going to happen for the one I'm working on now, but that's been helpful. And then the ones that are more like character playlists, I think sometimes it's just helpful to get in the attitude of the character or something like that. If they're very different from like myself, it's, you know, helpful to kind of, I don't know, it just helps with kind of having an idea of like what kind of person they are, what they would say, what they would do, kind of what attitude, mood, energy they would bring into a certain thing. If it's something that I'm like, I'm really having to like step outside my own mind to kind of get to that.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
I feel like I was gonna say your playlist that's songs for all the scenes in your book would be really cool to listen to once I've read. That would be cool. Yeah, I think that would be fun.
Yeah,
or like if
see how
you
that
published it and did a little bonus thing. I think that's fun.
Right. Yeah. What about your playlist?
So I make a lot of playlists for a lot of things. I have a lot of playlists that are just like, I have playlists for stories, because I do get a lot of inspiration for writing. I have playlists where there is no story or nothing written, but it made me think of a certain scene or character, and then another song will make me think of a different aspect of that same idea. So I have a folder on Spotify that's called Personal Projects, and I've got 13 different playlists in here that are all different ideas, like different songs that have made me think of different things. Some of them aren't that. One of them is something else. But anyway, for my active project, my book, I've got 11 playlists, some of which are defunct. Because some of them are just ones I saved at the beginning. Because at the beginning of writing the book, I was like, I want to find a lot of music that like fits the vibes I'm looking for. And so I've got a couple here that were just Spotify made playlists that I saved that I don't listen to anymore. I have an instrumental playlist to listen to while writing it. And then I have one that's like songs with lyrics that make me think of characters or moments, and that's a separate playlist. And then I have a few playlists for specific characters, but I kind of know which songs go with which characters in the lyric playlist, so I haven't broken all of that out into the character playlist. And the way I use all of those, the instrumental ones I use a lot while writing, the lyric ones, like you said, I use them to like when I'm like thinking about it, or if I'm like driving somewhere and I know I'm gonna be working on my book later and I want to like be in the mood or like be thinking about it, I'll listen to the lyric playlist. I think that's pretty much that's how I use those playlists. Yeah,
cool.
I have thought it would be fun because there are some instrumental songs I have that go with specific scenes in my mind that it would be fun to go in and order them all in the order of the book. I think that would be fun, but I haven't done that yet. So yeah, and I would probably do that after I finished it.
Do you kind of think of like, way down the line, you're like, if anybody made a movie adaptation of it, this is who I would want to have like do the story, like that kind of thing?
Yes, I have thought about that. Yeah.
And it's just like, I was already listening to it. Might as well just
throw it in there for the soundtrack. Yeah, because one of the playlist that's like intended to be songs that go with specific scenes is called like Wild Magic Soundtrack. Because in my mind, that's like that's the soundtrack, or the soundtrack would be like that if it was a movie. So yeah,
cool.
Yeah. So what do you listen to while you're writing?
Lately it's been different things. It's just me trying to find like I haven't landed on like one particular playlist or thing that's helpful like when writing, which I think kind of makes sense because I'm not always like writing the same like kind of scene or same thing. I think mainly it's just like instrumental songs that kind of have the same feel that I want whatever that scene is to have. Sometimes I can do lyric songs if I've already got like pretty clear picture of like what that scene is, or if like kind of thought about it. Sometimes I'll like mentally write a little more specifically. So I mean, like if I've already done that work ahead of time, then that makes the lyric friendly brain more fitting for that situation. But I think what I have found is a good blend for me, because instrumental music, I think the reason that I don't like it as much is because I feel like it's not as interactive in a way, like where it's like lyrical, like songs with lyrics, you can like sing along with that and you can kind of like know. And I mean, if you listen to instrumental, like the same track enough times, like you're gonna know what it is or whatever. But I really like instrumental covers of songs with lyrics, like whether it's the ones that are kind of tailored for the story, where it's like the chamber music or whatever, but then also like there's a lot of good like string and piano covers of I like the Bridgerton soundtrack where they've got like, I'm like, that is helpful for like regular day-to-day work kind of stuff, and also writing, that's kind of helpful I think, because it's like a little bit more engaging to me as far as like having something in the background. But I think more recently I haven't really been listening to much while writing, and so I don't know, maybe that's something to kind of experiment with a little bit more. I don't have like a straight answer for that one.
Yeah, I feel like some people say you shouldn't listen to anything.
Yeah, that's true. I don't know if I like that though.
Sometimes I don't listen to anything because I'm like, I just gotta focus.
Right.
But sometimes
Yeah.
you do. I don't know. I think it depends on what the situation is.
Yeah.
Or like that specific moment. Yeah.
Yeah. What do you like to listen to while you write?
I like to listen to instrumental music mostly. I do occasionally listen to songs with lyrics. When I was younger, I exclusively listened to music with lyrics. I didn't listen to any instrumental music. And so when I was trying to write in high school, I listened to music with lyrics because that was the music that I liked. And also, I do feel like sometimes music with lyrics helps to like distract the part of your brain that wants to, at least for me, the part of my brain that wants to edit or criticize what I'm writing as I'm writing it. Sometimes the like listening to something with lyrics helps with that. If it's a song that I've heard like a million times and isn't like a crazy, like it's like a fairly benign and chill song, if that makes sense. I don't know if that's actually helpful or if I've just tricked myself into thinking that it's helpful, but sometimes I do that. But now, more often than not, I'm listening to instrumental music, and I have a playlist. I have, like I said, I have Wild Magic Soundtrack, which is lyrics that are, not lyrics, instrumental music that I think of as like the soundtrack, and then I have a much bigger playlist that is Wild Magic Writing, which is also all instrumental, but it's songs that are, some of it is songs that I feel like fit the vibe of the book, and some of it are just instrumental songs that I like. So yeah, I have a lot of stuff on here. If we want to talk about artists, Marcus Warner. I think I've mentioned him a lot. He makes really good instrumental music. I don't know, I really like it. And then some are just random, where I don't listen to ones that are specific from a specific, that's like, I have one song because I got it off some random instrumental playlist. Other ones are Thomas Bergerson is one who I've got a few from that guy. There's this random person called Thurnin, this band that does like very medievally sounding music. So I have a lot of different things and people I listen to. So I could talk about that a while, I guess. But I don't know, like I'm not a huge music person, so I don't like keep up with these bands or whatever. It's exclusively on Spotify where I interact with this. Yeah. Cool. Yeah. What sort of artists do you have on your playlist?
So the problem, and it's funny that you mentioned that earlier about wanting to listen through the playlist after you read the book, because I recently like overhauled kind of the plot and kind of like started over on that, and I haven't updated the playlist to match some of the new things about it. So some of the tone of the playlist is maybe a little bit more morose than the book actually might be.
Okay.
There's a lot of Florence and the Machine going on.
We love Florence and the Machine. And a morose tone. We love a morose tone.
Yes. Let's see, as far as like, I also really like Sandra McCracken. She makes a lot of appearances on the playlist for my current project, and I think that'll stay that way. And then another song that it's like the lyrics I don't necessarily think go with the story, but the music, like the actual like instrument part of the song, All I've Ever Known by Madison Cunningham. I don't know why the beginning of it just has like the coolest little intro to me, and it is what like when I imagine the main character like walking around like her home or whatever, that's what I hear.
Okay, I'm gonna look that up.
The beginning of that. So, but other than that, and then the Oh Hellos. Always the Oh Hellos.
Yes, they're
like,
so good.
Especially for kind of like, fantasy things. And I think, because I really like they have good instrumental tracks as well.
They do.
Yeah. So.
I see.
Yeah, I think those are my most like repeating artists for this project.
For instrumental artists, not instrumental, for lyrical artists for my project, since I kind of talked about instrumental ones a little bit. Morningsiders, the music doesn't fit the tone of the book at all, but I like some of the lyrics. There's a song called "Don't Let Me" by the Morningsiders that's about like, it's about like two brothers, it seems, and my book is about two brothers, so I like that for the lyrics. And I've had a couple of other songs from them I like. David Kushner, I have a lot of songs from him that I think do fit the vibe of the book, and one character in particular. And then here's a kind of I have some songs from Woodkid. I don't know if you remember Woodkid or if you ever listened to Woodkid.
No.
I feel like they were. Well, you know what? I don't know if this is true. I was gonna say they were bigger when we were younger, but I have no idea if that's real.
Mhm.
Oh, who was the other one I was saying? Oh, there's this one person on Spotify, and again, I exclusively discover music on Spotify. I do not, or like Instagram Reels, and that's it. So there's this band called SYR, Sir, that makes like medievally sounding music, and they have one that's called. They have two. This one is Idista Viso, and one is Revenant. That I feel like kind of fit the vibe of my book. Yeah, and then a bunch of other random stuff. Well, not random because it's
but
it's
like
not random
one-off.
to me, but it's random. Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah.
Nice.
Cool.
Yeah.
So, YouTube. So are there any like? How do you use music when writing? If you write, do you listen to any of these people that we've mentioned?
Yeah.
Yeah. Let us know in the comments.
Yeah.
Cool. All right.
Bye.
Bye.